So welcome to this this game at the Guernsey Indoor Bowl Stadium. We've just finished a under 35s game. This is the Open Triples final. So Jason Greenslade against Dave Jeffrey on their respective triples. At the moment it's 1 to Jason and 2 to Dave. So 1 to Sean. Sorry, 1 to Jason. So Sean leading off. Sorry about that, giving you a guided tour of the stadium. It is amateur hour, but then again we are amateurs. All volunteers. So as you can see, we've got a really short jack. Matt's all the way back. It's probably only meter over the line. It's not very far. Can't quite tell from here. But it does mean that because our cameras are at the back, makes it a bit more difficult with the players standing there. So Dave's asked for a firing shot. Narrowly missed. Always depends on your viewpoint of that. If you miss, it's, well, surely you could have drawn, you could have given yourself a wider target, whatever you might have done. So you're never going to win if you play that, unless you hit it and get a good result. It is a few to Jason's team. Sean led really well. Brad's put one in there. Interestingly, Brad's going in to chalk it now. So hopefully they nominated it and that's why he's chalked it. Because it wasn't a new or fresh toucher. So you're normally supposed to touch those. It's normally supposed to chalk those touches early. Interesting, Jason trying to put a blocker in. Thing is, when it's that far down, you can always play the other hand if you choose slightly less weight. You can see it's from the angle we're looking at it to the left of centre. So you can see what they're looking at. It's front one's well off centre, so it's not in the way of anything backhand. And if you've got a really strong fire, it's not in the way on the forehand either. And the jack is on the very back of that pack. Well, they've used a few woods at it now without getting any results. It's only one of Gary's that's really hit the target. So Jason asking for jack eye, which Brad gave him. So the fact he asked for jack eye, that although it's ended up a reasonable blocker, that's definitely not what he was playing. I'm sure he won't be disappointed with it. Well, Dave going for a strong shot again. He had a lot to make him not hit the target. If he caught one of the front ones, if he was like that, a bit tight. It was only a small target as the head got set up. So 3 gone up on the board. So that's 5-2 to Jason's team. So it's Sean Bishard at Leeds, Brad Lenori at 2, Jason Greenslade skip. And Dave Jeffries' team is Dave King at Leeds, Gary McFarlane at 2, and Dave Jeffries skip. So this time, instead of kicking the woods back and playing minimum just above the line, just kept the mat right up and had it just off the tee. So singles on rink 3, the one next door is finished. So didn't go to a tie break. So Tom must have got a 3. It's not marked on the board, but he must have got a score to make it 1.5 to a half. Over on rink 4, it's gone to a tie break. So 1-1. So it'll be a one end tie break for Catherine and Nicole. So good start again from Sean, doing what he does best. Very disciplined, just keep drawing. He knows the value of a team game. He's not worried about shot, just build the head. And it means it's even if you sort of move the jack a few inches one way or the other, you're more likely to be towards one of these woods. Really good lead, really disciplined. Fraction unlucky from Gary. Only carrying, well, maybe 18 inches. But not even that. A foot from the shot. Touched the outside, but could have easily just sat on it. that's doubly unlucky. Sat the red one in for another counter. 3 down there. So Dave not wanting to risk the same as last end. Going for the draw. Got that slight touch on the front one. And a little sit off the shot wood. They will count. He'll be happy enough with that. Well, very fortunate for Dave there. For Jason, sorry. Dave Jeffrey, though, I mean, he had his own little glide off the front one to start with, but his character is not about any cursing. If the other opposition's got a rub or anything, for him, that's just part of the game. You always get a bit of luck here and there, and it evens up. So it doesn't bother him in the slightest. That's a really good weight, but couldn't quite get down. So you can see the spots either side. Not quite so big in the picture-in-picture. Well, I can only say Jason was after a few there that he was going for that shot. I presumed he was holding. And that's why I was starting to just talk about the spots. So the side tees for who was holding. But it might be irrelevant now. Because, anyway. Dave's probably got both tees covered. This last bowl coming up. So couldn't quite get in there for Dave for another. Didn't want to disturb it, so he's possibly just played a bit delicately. So 5-3 to Jason. And on the couple of rinks away, so that lady's under 25. Catherine managed to get the tie break. So took that 2-1 against Nicole. Goal from Dave King there, forcing us to move our cameras around again. Well, another toucher from Dave. Just sneaking it away from his own wood. And Sean's lost that one in the ditch. Not sure if you can hear that going on here. I can certainly hear it through my earphones. A lot of joviality just outside. It's not putting these players off though, I'm sure. Well, a little bit unlucky from Gary McFarlane, but on the other hand, does actually give him an opportunity to keep plugging away similar. If they can turn it similar, then it'll be very good for them. See what Brad gets done here. Didn't quite make it. A lot of waving from Dave King there. So you can see just at the back, the yellow, just against, almost against the bank. That's just about on, but that's very useful for Dave Jeffrey's team. Well, Dave a fraction short, but might make it difficult for Jason there. So playing the forehand, that's just got to be a draw. Needs to quietly drop around everything. Oh, well, interesting the way he touched 2 bowls and then sort of crept around them and fell. Still a couple down. Yeah, I'm not sure if I would have played that way. There is a draw on. You almost think if Dave plugged away and turned his own up, or get down to the one that Jason's just put his hand against, that red one, he might have turned it away and made more. So he set that off as just a draw. Jason probably had good weight last time, but a little bit tight. Pretty much exactly the same bowl. And if depends how sensitive the mic is. I said about the noise before. Well, that wasn't thunder or a jet going over or whatever you might have thought. That was just somebody sneezing outside. So Gary just in front, indicating with his foot where they want the bowl to sit, just to make it awkward for Jason. Well, he won't be happy with that. It's possibly in the way for a runner, but certainly not where he was looking to get to. Well, it's a good effort from Jason. If he'd just got the plant of his own 2, he would have made it. But just a bowl tight. And got to be happy with that fresh delivery of tea. Thanks to Ali Marian. So these teams definitely got their favoured lengths. Jason's side really went for the short stuff. Dave Jeffrey and I know definitely Dave King as a lead likes the longer stuff. So it is T to T. And now he's moved it again, more touches. It's more than T to T. Well, Sean a fraction unlucky there, just a smidge tight. But Dave's were good bowls anyway. Well, I don't know if you'd have seen that on your camera, but Gary happy with his efforts there. Arms up in the air. Obviously in jest. So Brad having a run at this. Well, close to the target area, but just skim past the front stuff. I think so that's why Gary was so happy. Effectively, he's right on the tee, so that's obviously the area he's told to put it. So Jason's still asking for Brad to go through it. Probably a fraction wider this time. So you see Gary's wood went off the back. Jason's changed after a more delicate weight. I'm not sure about that one. I kind of feel if you've played two at it, you're either confident enough that you'll still go for it. I'm not sure the target was any bigger or easier by playing that hand. So if the shot was the right shot previously, I feel maybe could have stayed with that. Anyway, same result, just drifted round. And Dave, he's got it where he called Gary. Gary just went in the ditch, but No mistake from Dave. Jason's straight on. Well, so close to getting one away. Going for a little stroll. So you will. It didn't go behind the head, which well, it doesn't affect Dave. He just gets on with it. But the rules do say you should be behind the head. And there you go. Didn't affect Dave at all. Another one right in there. Trying to keep that pressure on Jason. So more weight from Jason. Let's move the jack. We'll move that camera around for you. So we didn't get that because it did go backwards, but not only did he move the jack, he then ran on, took Dave's backward off and stayed on a few inches from the ditch. That's what you would call maximum result. 99 times out of 100 you wouldn't get all three of those things in one go. Yeah, David set his mind, but now he's up to the mat. He's just wondering if he can play something. Dave's quite an aggressive player, so I did wonder if he'd go for the wood, because he's not a toucher. He moved the jack because it played the a wood onto it, the shut wood. Well, he didn't get it back. So whether Jason draws another one or not, the fact that Jason's most likely to walk away with the end here, Dave's team will be really disappointed with that. I think they controlled that one, and just a slice of fortune that took it away from them. Well, close for Jason. Probably had enough weight, bit tight. So that'll make it 6-5 to Jason. So you can see that's a really short jack again. So just trying to bring you a slightly different angle because it's so short. Our camera's a long way back. So you can see Dave King's bowl. So along with Dave Jeffrey, he's got the wood that's roughly jack height, holding shot. 3 reds just behind it, which will just be what Brad's after, just trying to squeeze that jack. That's why he's under the line. He's not trying to draw it, so he's intentionally under the line, but a little bit too far. So Gary's target is not the jack perfect, but to squeeze around the shot wouldn't sit the reds. So a bit tight and a bit short. Be a little disappointed with that. There you go, you can see the reds behind. Just opened up for us. You almost feel, don't worry about it, because his own wood is, as in his own team's bowl, is just in front. So even if he touches that, he's just going towards the jack a little bit more. So I was just about to say, so nothing for short. Well, I think Jason indicated the backhand, so it threading a route between those yellows. It's still on. For both these skips, exactly as it stands, it looks like nothing for short. Anything just being there is useful to them. That makes it a fraction easier for Dave Jeffrey to get down to the reds. Now Dave King's is not going to fall over. He can play it with a lot more confidence. He's got to sit those reds and fall in. Bit unlucky, sat those reds and fell away. Well, nothing's changed for Jason, so if the shot was on before, it should be on now. Now it makes you wonder if no, Dave's he's just drawn straight off. Dave Jeffries is a sort of aggressive player. He takes no prisoners. That I did wonder. He's in the target area. I did wonder if he'd have a look at those 2 reds, because he might have been able to take them away. So he's got a toucher. So the 2 reds just to the left behind, if he took those away, would that make more shots? And that's very much Dave's style. And even if he turned the his own wood on. So has he's only moved it a couple of inches, but has he give Jason a little view at that jack just to make it, even if it's such a similar shot, but a bit more confidence he can actually see it. So that Jason definitely played more. He felt he could get to that jack a bit more. So as you saw Dave indicating, sit the back stuff, fall in. Well, that's interesting. I mean, although we could see it wasn't going to be in the head, but Jason kicking the wood in. That's unexpected. The opposition, I don't see they're going to, but they have the right, if it's been disturbed by a third party or the opposition, to put it wherever they thought it was going to finish. So once again, Dave, tee to tee. He's not nailed it that time. He's been getting a few touches, just making us move our cameras around as he keeps nicking the jack back a little bit more. And he's given the opportunity for Sean to get in. So score-wise, that just lets Dave Jeffrey get his nose in front. 7-6. 9 ends. So halfway through on the board. Because we were watching a different game, we were doing the under 35 singles to start. I didn't actually see what time they started. So it's a 3-hour time limit. I think they would have started by about 2:15 after trial ends. I imagine that's about it. So 1 hour 45. I feel they're not going to get the full 18 ends in. So I've got confirmation just back in that they did start at 2:17. So my guess of 2:15 was about right. So yeah, I don't see them playing all the ends. Well, really good effort from Dave. He was just looking to squeeze Woodall Jack. Anything just arriving was good. So he obviously thinks he's one down. Doesn't need to move it far, just maybe a foot. But to clip it a foot, you need a little bit more than a foot. Brad having a really good look. On the other side, doing what I always call the bowler's dance, just go around the head. Yeah, you want to see who's holding, and we all do it. More so at the end where you're trying to decide who's shot. Sometimes it's just quicker to get the measure in. Well played, Jason. That makes short. Oh, out for a Sunday stroll. Well, back to the first one for Dave Jeffrey. Yeah, drifted around it. Another good effort. So Jason does have a draw on. Not much room. Got to be slightly careful, but he's got given himself a chance to get another one in. So you saw there, Jason was trying to will it up to that minimum mark, but it didn't make it. Jack goes back, re-deliver. So that's been nip and tuck. If I'm not commentating, I do keep the stats as well, but not on this one, so I'm not sure exactly who's won every end and at what length. But it's although Jason's team have favoured the absolute minimum and Dave's team have favoured the absolute maximum, they've certainly won some of their own ends and also won some of the other opposition's lengths. So a bit mixed up. But as far as getting in the head, it's certainly until the last end or so, Dave King has done well on the long stuff. And Sean certainly doing better on the short stuff. So as a skip, if your lead is playing well on something, well, you're happy, you let him crack on because you know it's giving you a really good position in the head. If it's nip and tuck, if they're not dominating, then sometimes you go put it here because that's where, as a skip, you're more comfortable with. And so even though it's nip and tuck, you know you can look to turn it around at the end. I even got a smirk from my fellow cameraman. Smirk being because he does play with me, and as a lead, he knows exactly that. Sometimes you'll just let him crack on. Sometimes you go, I want it here.
And just as with your commentating, usually you get exactly the opposite result.
Yeah, commentators curse. As soon as you think you're doing something right, they prove you it's wrong. Fraction over from Gary. Fancy is just drawing there. Just move it a couple of inches, you make 2. Sit against a shot bowl means there's probably would be a plan to play it out. So I feel he was drawing that, not arriving to it. Well, in the head, good weight. Well, Dave called Gary up to see a shot. Not sure if he's asking for him to disturb it. You feel if he was just carrying on, let him draw, he'd have just let him get on with it. So maybe you wanted to show him, if you just turn that bowl, lift it over, there's a few opportunities. That to me looks like it's just arriving. Well, He's certainly improved it for himself or for his skip. So that's a good bowl, Gary. Well, Jason playing weight there, so I thought the red one was shot, but maybe it's moved further away. Jason was trying to play, well, the wood or jack, I presume. So they're looking to cover just behind. So it must be one to Dave. If you can't get the shot you wanted, well, see if you can cover another one, plan B. That's Jason playing weight again. With that weight, you feel that there's not much target. I can only see him looking to clip the bowl. Even if he clips a jack, you've Dave is on the well, not on, but has the tee covered that side. Well, he's ended up where he's been trying to get to. Touched the red one on the way through. You presume it's not made a difference to who's shot or not. But you feel Jason can't try and play this again. Because if he does get the jack out, he might, well, he'll be one down because he's unlikely to, with that weight, to go with it. He won't get down enough to go with it. So he'd be one down and room for two. So I'd say he's going to play less weight. So exactly to the wood we just said. Is it one or is it two? They're having a good look. David made up his mind up before Gary. Oh, seemingly not made his mind up before Gary. He's coming back to the head. It's quite... I mean, I can see what he's looking at. If he plays the blue onto the red, he then brings in another couple and he might stay to make it 4. But I thought he indicated playing on the forehand, which I thought, not sure how he's going to get that. If he's playing it, it's going to be backhand. And if he's, for me, if he's playing backhand, he almost might as well just over draw a couple of feet. If he stands it up, it will stay for 3. And if that way, if he touches anything else, no danger. Even if he gets his own shot wood, he'll stay there. So it feels like delicate weight that it should be. That looks like more weight than that. Well, after that rub, it probably ended up closer to the weight I'm thinking of. So called the umpire. So one conceded, so it will be a full length jack. And I don't know if the mic would have picked that up, but just going straight past our commentary position, Dave Jeffrey, the skip, even though it's one and a measure for two. Very, you know, he's in jest because that's his character, but he says, ask for three, Dave. So bowl not flat, so Ali Marion immediately wedges it, as all umpires do. So the red one turned away, so just one shot. Well, you can see there Dave is just putting the mat up towards, well, that first seam, so that's just over 2 yards up maybe. So it's nothing much, but he's just changed the length very slightly. So on that measure, it looked Ali was fairly quick with it, so looked like it was quite, well, once you get the measure on it, quite obvious. So as you can see in the scoreboard there that's come up, Dave Jeffrey now leads 8-7, 11 ends. Well, that's 2 hours in. So they might only get 17 ends in. So a good final bowl from Sean, whether it's shot or not. Forehand's going to be difficult for them. Or right-handed forehand, right-handed players forehand. With those woods that you can see just on the left of the centre. And Gary's played that well. Brad's coming down through it on the forehand. What's he going to get? Well, a bit unlucky. It's cleared the front, so maybe made it slightly easier. Unfortunately, just taking away his own closest bolt. Well, after a runner, that's a good effort from Brad. Didn't quite get in there, but certainly close enough to be useful. Well, that's a cracking reply from Gary. Previous one, good weight, fraction wide. Ended up in a good spot, covering one of the spots, one of the side spots. Looks like he's saying down, or at least be up to it on the back end. Well, it was under the line, so feels like he was having a little trundle at it, but just left it a bit short. So I've just moved that camera down a little bit so you can see just one on the back, but essentially nothing else behind. So Jason has got to be slightly careful. Certainly doesn't want to take his own second away, or third actually. Well, he's liking it. He's stalking it. Well, good bowl, whatever. He's ended up in that position, slightly behind where I was just saying that there was only one that behind that was serious contender. If Jason gets that exact, well, exactly where Gary was just showing, if he gets it exact, he makes 2 or 3. Difficult shot to play, but you've got 2 good ones. You're just up in the head on the board. Take the two and run. Don't concede too many. Well, not sure if what Jason's weight is. Has he got the same? Probably had a fraction more. Nothing much, but he's touched the wood, which we've just lost him a foot or so. So 2 conceded, makes it 10-7 to Dave Jeffrey. And this time it's right on the tee. I'll say right on, he's half a mat over, but he's not gone up to the seam. So another good lead off from Dangerous Dave. Fraction short by Sean, so I think he's going to be changing that one. I know he's stuck with it. Squeeze around it. There is room. And if you're confident on your hand, just keep going. Yeah, well played, Sean. Well, good effort from Dave. Just drifted very slightly through, but target area. That's where Jason wanted it. Anything, as we're looking at it, to the right of those two blues. Well, Dave, as you can see, has just explained, you've still got that backhand, tickle it, really tuck it in. Or you've got the forehand and squeeze inside the one that's a wood short. They're both options. Backhand is maximum result, but probably slightly harder. Probably slightly harder yet with that one in the way. Well, that's a bit unlucky from Gary. Shows the danger of the previous wood trying to really squeeze around one that's close to the head. Just took a roll the other hand, a roll this hand, and now it's a counter. And all of a sudden, from being 1 down and really good head in your favour, 3 down, having to run at it now. And I'm just getting a bit of a stare from outside. Got a packet of sweets that Ali's just discovered after 2 hours, so she's worried I'm going to be spoiling my tea if I have too many. There's always room for tea. So well played there, Gary. Just a little knock off the wood to get it out, get it in a bit more room. A little bit wayward from Dave. He's a few down, so he's going to have to definitely draw one in there. So Dave's cut down. Still a couple down probably. Jason's definitely liking that one. Well, Dave went back to the heads. I thought he was kind of going to draw that. Now he's asking questions. And Gary's showing some options through the head. So I feel he's going to be playing a strong one. Not playing the way I thought he would. Well, a bit lucky, but maybe a bit unlucky that he's made himself more down. Just move that camera as you see. So it's one of those, if he played a bit more weight, might have still stuck on that wood, might have bounced more, but the wood he played up would have travelled a lot further. Well, Jason's probably made sure of the one to the bottom right. Possibly taken away another one. They don't seem so sure. Might be as many as 5. Yep, 5 hands or 5 fingers going up. Kind of stems from that, just playing that backhand, trying to squeeze around a wood. Turn it a roll, then put it sort of close to the target on the other hand, turn it another roll, draw another one. All of a sudden you're a few down. So having a dig at that one, I'm not convinced that was a right shot. His wood standing up, so all he's got to do is draw. If he draws and sits his own down, he makes shot. And that will mean the plant's lined up that his wood will be coming onto the jack. Well, he's certainly tight enough. He's looking at it again. Yeah, I think that's the wrong shot. Although he's got better weight, but I still think he was looking to be down to that rather than drawing it. So target area for Gary. Ever so slightly over, but whether that's the call. But even if he missed, he was just going to be a yard behind, which was handy. So we managed to get you the other end. Show you what they're seeing from there. So if he does stick with that backhand, now he's got two in there, he can afford to be arriving to it. Forget Dave's solid. He turns away the shot, makes himself 2 or 3. So he's showing a foot there, probably 2 yards through on the weight. And if the woods are touching, 2 yards, that'll move the shot wood a foot or so. Well, drifted around, but reasonable effort, probably a fraction heavy. The weight Dave was showing was just past himself, so the fact he's played a wood that far or more shows he probably had another, maybe a couple of yards. Maybe overcompensated for that one. Probably still too much weight. He's lost the bowl out the side. You feel the less weight he would play for Dave, the gives him more room around that short one without hitting it. Jason's just trying to get another one in the target area. That makes it more difficult for Dave. But backhand still on. Yep, same shot. You saw him just put his hand there. He's still trying to get to Dave's wood. So Dave's wood was a couple of yards. I mean, that was the weight he was calling for, so he knows what he's going to try again. Jason trying to cover a bit. I think that's a bit short for what he was after. They're looking at the other hand, so it's a similar idea. I feel there's a little bit more slalom around that front one. Yeah, it was. You could still get to it either way, but that wood on the forehands felt a little bit more in the line for me, because he's got to play enough weight to get around the forehand, then inside the white one. That's a bit short. Backhand, he's got more chance, or had more chance, even if he got down to his own yellow. That would have split him back to the second wood and taken away the shot. Coming down for another look. I mean, is he coming? I thought he was looking at the backhand again. Yeah, still looking at that forehand. Even if he does catch that white, he's got to play it with enough weight. It's a tiny channel, but it's on. If he gets it, he gets 3 shots. Oh, he's back to the mouth. Thought he'd agreed what he's playing, and he's now talking the other hand again. I mean, he was close, but I feel he changed to the harder hand each time. So another one to Jason, 13-10 up. So on the favoured shorter length, Sean steady. All ever so slightly short, but good bowls. Just that disciplined draw. Nothing else matters, just about putting them in the head. Doesn't matter whether you get a shot or not. Excellent place from Brad. Had to be close to the jack, but finished really well. So anything a draw if it gets inside his own. Looks like I presume they're calling a draw. His own is on the running surface, so it doesn't take so much to move it. But should be able to get squeeze underneath it, sit against the red that's shot. Well, not a draw. Arriving, played it really well. Wait to stay. Jason had called a shot there and then changed his mind. He's called Brad up. Gonna have another look. So it looks like he's calling him just to arrive. Plant on the front, gets past it. Might clip their own in. Drift around that. You end up in a good home just behind. Well, looks like he's played what was called. Now let's see if he gets shot out of it. Not quite. A little bit unlucky. That was what was called though. So Gary getting another one in. Forcing Jason to make sure he's there. Just checking if that one's in. They're not from here. I would say it is. Jason having a run. So it's a respot here, but he's given himself plenty of room. Dave won't be happy with himself on that one. I mean, the spots are 2 yards, so at least 2 yards over on that. Giving Jason a lot of room. I'm not sure which one's shot. I think it might be the one on the very left of your screen as we're looking at it at the moment. And that's Dave King. So Dave King, Dave Jeffrey there, if that is the one. Yeah, so as expected, awful lot of room for Jason to get in. And he did. But not only that, after a runner, almost touching it. So Dave only went in the ditch, so he's going to have the confidence to try and draw that. It really depends if those other ones are, if he truly has second shot. Quite a lot of discussion going on here. Is it because they're not sure if it's more than one? Or if it hits the wood onto the jack in the ditch and it goes... So a camera angle we've got at the moment, if it goes towards the right, those on the right are all against. And if he hits his own like that and takes it out, I think that might be 5 down. Maybe even 6 down. Well, my draw dropped to the floor with that one. It was a bit of risk playing that shot. I think it was, it felt like a desperate shot. Oh, they're measuring for one that I didn't expect. So I think that's 6 out and a measure. And that's it, they've called it. Such a big drop at that stage. They know they might only get 2 more ends in. 10 shots behind. So I don't know if they gave 6 or 7. For the purposes of this, I'm going to call it 6. So 19, 10, 15 ends played. So thanks for joining us, and we'll be back next weekend where we've got more finals. There'll be the fours is on next weekend, and mixed pairs and open singles. I'm not sure which ones are being streamed yet. We'll see which ones are being played at the same time. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.